Good day everyone, my name is Ursinisi Umanda and today I'm going to discuss the chapter 16 in Gay Paris 1889-90. So, according to Rizal, the truth is that Paris is not the perfect city imagined by many Parsines. So, uh, according to Rizal, ay hindi kasing ganda ng inakala ng mga tao ang lugar na Paris. So, difficulty of finding living, quarter, quarter. So, in March 1889, it was extremely difficult for a visitor to find living quarter in Paris. So, according to Rizal, when he was in Paris, um, uh, siya'y nahihirapan na maghanap ng kanyang matitirahan. So, International Exposition of 1889 attracted thousands of tourists so that all the hotels accommodation were taken. So, kagaya nga ng sinabi ni Rizal na ang city ng Paris ay maraming mga turista kung kaya't lahat ng mga hotel doon ay napuno na. So, to the great disgust of Rizal, the cost of living spiraled high because the French landlord, taking advantage of great demand for living quarter, raised the rent of their rooms. So, dahil sa maraming turista ang namamasyal sa city ng Paris ay nag-take advantage yung mga may-ari ng mga hotel or di kaya yung mga boarding house at tinaasan nila yung presyo uh, ng kanilang mga hotels o di kaya kanilang boarding house. So, Valentin Ventura, Rizal's friend, where he lived for a short time. So, dito nang si Rizal ay pumunta sa Paris is nakitira siya sa kanyang kaibigan ni si Valentin Ventura. So, dito nakatira si Valentin Ventura sa number 45 Rue Mabege. So, Filipino roommates of Rizal. So, meron siyang dalawang roommate na Filipino. So, ang isa ay si Kapitan Justo Trinidad, former Gobernadorcillo of Santa Ana, Manila, and a refugee from Spanish Tyranny. At ang pangalawa naman ay si Jose Albert, young student of Manila. So, let's proceed to the life in Paris. So, Rizal spent most of time in reading room of Bibliothèque Nationale. So, sa pananatili ni Rizal sa Paris ay lahat ng kanyang oras ay nilalaan niya sa pagbabasa ng mga libro. So, during his spare hours, he used to dine at homes of friends. Pardo de Taveras, the Ramirezes, the Venturas, the Rochas. So, frequent visitor of the Bosted family. So, parating bumibisita si Rizal sa bahay ng kanyang mga kaibigan na Bosted family. So, as he stay in the Paris, so he studied also the language of Paris. So, on Sunday, he attended the fencing lesson of the studio of Luna. He fenced with Luna brothers, Juan and Antonio, Valentin Ventura, and Bosted's sister. He carried on his artistic hobby. He made two statues, the beggar and the maid, with a basket. So meron ding hobby si Rizal na kung saan ito yung sculpture na kung saan nakagawa siya ng dalawa. Kung ito ay ang beggar at ang the maid with a basket. So, the three Pardo de Taveras. Ito yung mga kaibigan ni Rizal nung siya ay nasa Paris. So, First, Dr. Trinidad H. Pardo de Tevera, physician by vocation and philologist by advocation. Dr. Felix Pardo de Tavera, also a physician by vocation and an artist and sculptor. Paz Pardo de Tavera, wife of Juan Luna, and the one who said that Rizal was very fond of the Philippine dishes. So, Don Joaquin Pardo de Tavera was born in Philippines, the son of a rich French businessman of Singapore, and had married a daughter, prominent Ginato family of Manila. He has two daughters named Nelly and Adelina. So let's proceed to the Kidlat Club. Towards the end of March 1889, shortly after the arrival in Paris, Rizal organized his paisanos into a society called Kidlat Club. So, sa pananatili ni Rizal sa Paris ay nagtayo siya ng isang club na kung saan ito ay tinatawag na Kidlat. So, ito yung mga members sa Kidlat Club na kanyang ginawa. Una, meron itong 8. Antonio Luna, Juan Luna, Lauro de Mayuga, Baldomero Rojas, Gregorio Aguilera, Fernando Canon, Gregorio Pauto, Julio Lorente. So, Kidlat Club was purely a social club of temporary nature, founded by Rizal simply to bring together the young Filipinos in French capital so that they could enjoy their sojourn in the city during the International Exposition. So, dito sa Kidlat Club is nag-invite si Rizal ng mga Filipino. So, gumawa rin siya ng sulat na kanyang ibinigay kay Blumentritt. So, ito yung nakalagay sa sulat na pinadala ni Rizal kay Blumentritt. Kidlat in Tagalog means lightning, and for the same reason, this club will live only during the exposition. We thought of it, establish it in our, and it will soon disappear like lightning. So, kaya tinawag na Kidlat Club ang kanilang organisasyon sapagkat pagkatapos ng exposition is maglalaho lang ito na parang kidlat. So, let's proceed to the Indios Bravos na kung saan ito yung pinalit ni Rizal nung naglaho ang Kidlat Club. So, Rizal and the members of the Kidlat Club usually went sightseeing trips. At the exposition ground, in one group, Rizal, who could speak French fluently, acted as their guide and interpreter in one of their sightseeing trips. They saw buffalo bills troop and were impressed by the American Indians wearing war paints and feathers, proudly riding their horses like centaurs. The tall, dignified, proud, and powerfully built Indian ignited Rizal imagination. So, di ba si Rizal ay nag-aral ng French language para siya ay makapagsalita ng French fluently at siya rin ay makapagsulat. So dito, when Rizal and his members in Kidlat Club went in sightseeing, so Rizal acted as their guide because he is the only one who can speak French language. So as they sightseeing, Rizal imagined and he told to his friends that why should we resent being called Indios by the Spaniard? Look at the American Indians. They were not ashamed of their race. Let us be like them. Let us be proud the name of Indio and expanded revised their conceptions of the term, we shall become Indios Bravos. So, sinabi ni Rizal na kung saan base sa kanyang sinabi na dapat na bilang isang Pilipino ay dapat proud ka na ipakilala sa buong mundo at proud ka na ipagmalaki na ikaw ay isang Filipino. Was the new society of Filipinos which was established in Paris. So, it replaced the Kidlat Club. So, kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, ito yung pumalit sa organisasyon na tinatawag na Kidlat Club. So, ito yung mga miyembro ng Indios Bravos. Una, si Aguilera, De Mayuga, Pauto, Canon, Antonio Luna, Juan Luna, Lorente, at Rojas. So, let's proceed to the annotated edition of Morga published. Ito yung sinulat ni Rizal na kanyang pinablish noong January 1890. The publication date of Rizal's annotated edition of Morga's Successos. So, Morga's Successos, Rizal's outstanding achievement in Paris, which he wrote in the British Museum. So, ito yung greatest achievement ni Rizal nung siya ay nasa Paris. So, printed by Garnier Ferris, dedicated this historical to the Filipinos. So, ito ay ang Morgas na Morgas ay ito patungkol or idinedicate ni Rizal sa mga Filipinos. So, Blumentritt revealed Rizal's error in historical works. So, first, Rizal committed the error of many historians in appraising the events of the past in the light of present standard. And Rizal attacked the church were unfair, unjustified, because the abuses of the fraile should not be construed to mean the Catholicism is bad. So, nang sinulat ni Rizal itong Morgas is mapatungkol din ito sa mga fraile na kung saan ito ay siniraan din ang kanyang sulat na Noli Me Tangere. So, reason why annotated and published Morgas Successos. It was the best of many histories of the Philippines written by the early Spanish writers. It has accurate narration of event. It was unbiased in judgment. And lastly, it was unmarred by childish fantasies. So, International Association of Filipinologists, January 14, 1889, Rizal broached the idea of establishing the International Association of Filipinologists and its inaugural conventions of the French capital Blumentritt through a letter, and the letter glad supported him. Wrote the prospectus of this international association. According to his prospectus, the aims of the association is to study the Philippines from the scientific and historical point of view. So, ito yung officer ng IAF o International Association of Filipinologists. So, the president is Dr. Ferdinand Blumentritt, Vice President Mr. Edmond Plauchot, Councilor Dr. Reinhold Rost, Anglo-German Dr. Antonio Rigor, Filipino-Spanish, and the secretary is Dr. Jose Rizal, a Filipino. So, in August 1889, the scheduled date made by Rizal in holding the inaugural convention of the International Association of Filipinologists in Paris. So, Rizal invited the following renowned scholars in Europe. So, Dr. Ross, Dr. Yule, Dr. Jagur, Dr. A.B. Mayer, Dr. Kern, and Dr. Zipilak. The inaugural convention did not materialize because the French government discouraged the holding a conference be by private organization during the period of the International Exposition. So, Filipino College in Hong Kong. To establish a modern college in Hong Kong was another magnified project of Rizal in Paris. So, when he was in Paris, he established a college in Hong Kong. So, Jose Maria Basa, Rizal friend whom he wrote letter about this matter. So, naghingi ng tulong si Rizal sa kanyang kaibigan ni si Jose Maria Basa. So, according to Rizal, this college aims to train and educate men of good family, financial means in accordance with the demands of modern time and circumstances. So, ito yung ang college na tinayo ni Rizal sa Hong Kong, ito yung pumapatungkol sa pag-educate ng mga Filipino na kung saan tinuturuan sila and they train and educate the men of having a good family and financial means in accordance with the demand of the modern time and circumstances. So, Mr. Cunanan, a rich Filipino resident, promised to help to raise 40,000 as initial capital of the college. So, when Rizal established the modern college in Hong Kong, so si Mr. Cunanan ang isa sa tumulong kay Rizal na magbigay ng kapital para sa kanyang pag-establish ng college. At binigyan na ito nag-promise siya na bibigyan ni Sir Rizal ng 40,000 as initial capital for the college. So, ito yung mga curriculum na consisted sa college in Hong Kong na pinatayo ni Rizal. So, these are the following subject. So, ethics, study of religion, natural law, civil law, department, hygiene, mathematics, physics, and chemistry, natural history, geography, political economy, universal history, Philippine history, logic, rhetoric and poetic, Spanish, English, French, German, Chinese, Tagalog, gymnastics, equitation, fencing, swimming, music, drawing, dancing. So, ito yung mga subject na inimplementa ni Rizal sa pagtayo niya ng college para sa mga Pilipino sa Hong Kong. So, por telefono. Rizal defended his knowledge from slanderous attack of Fray Jose Rodriguez by pinning a satirical booklet entitled La Version de Fray Rodriguez. So, ang por telefono, ito yung sumulat si Rizal ng ganitong akda sapagkat dito niya sa pamamaraan nito is Rizal defended na yung ginawa niyang akda na no limitang race sa mga sa isang praile na si Jose Rodriguez, na kung saan sinisiraan si Jose Rizal. So, another satirical work written by Rizal in the fall of 1889 as a reply to another slanderer, Father Salvador Font, were mastermind the banning of Noli. So, isa pala si Father Salvador na i-ban ang Noli na ginawa ni Rizal. So, it was published in booklet form in Barcelona in the year 1889. So, in August 13, 1889, Rizal received the printed copies from Mariano Ponce as revealed by his letter to the latter in Paris. So, Rizal and the Boasted Sister. Dito na yung romantic, another romantic of Rizal. So, Adelina Boasted. So, another romantic of Rizal in Paris, younger sister of the vivacious Nelly, who is quite refined and dignified. So, si Adelina Boasted, ito yung naging kasintahan ni Rizal nung siya ay nasa Paris. So, at ito'y may kapatid na si Nelly Boasted. So, gay-hearted and sport-minded who was attracted to Antonio Luna, a dashing man, violent passion. So, ito si Boasted, si Nelly Boasted, ito yung nagkagusto rin kay Jose Rizal. Subalit, si Nelly Boasted, ito rin ay may manliligaw, at ito'y si Antonio Luna, na kung saan ito'y kabigan ni Rizal. So dito, isang araw is bumisita si Rizal at si Luna sa bahay ng mga Boasted. Subalit, at si Nelly Boasted naman ay nabighani sa talintong taglay ni Rizal. Subalit, ang mga mata ni Rizal ay nakatitig lamang at nahulog kay Adelina Boasted. So, dito si Antonio Luna, para hindi masira ang pagkakaibigan nila, is siya ay umalis. And in November 16, 1889, Luna wrote to Rizal announcing his trip to Barcelona to seek a duel with Mr. Diaz, Spanish newspaperman who was writing articles against the Filipinos. So sa sulat din na sinulat ni Luna, ay nakapaloob din dito kung saan sinabi niya kay Rizal na sabihin kay Nelly Boasted na ang kanyang pagmamahal sa babae. So, in 1891, Rizal was grieving over Leonor Rivera's coming marriage to an Englishman, Mr. Henry C. Keeping. He visited the Boasted family in Biarritz. So si Rizal ay nagdadalamhati pa rin sa nung pagkakawalay nila ni Leonora Rivera. So, nang nalaman niya ang coming marriage ni Leonora Rivera sa Englishman na si Mr. Henry C. Keeping, he visited the Boasted family in Biarritz, na kung saan nagplano siya na pakasalan si Adelina. But Rizal's marriage proposal to Adelina did not prosper for three reasons. So first, Adelina was not sure he loved her because of his broken engagement with Leonora. So si Adelina ay hindi pa sure sa totoo talagang nararamdaman ni Rizal, sapagkat ito pa rin ay nagdadalamhati sa nagdalamhati kay Leonora Rivera. sa kanilang paghiwalay. So, the second, Rizal refused to accept the condition and become a Protestant like her. So, nag-refuse din si Rizal na maging Protestant, kagaya kay Adelina. So, the third is Adelina's mother opposed the match because Rizal was not rich enough to support the family instead. So, ang pangatlo is tutol din ang ina ni Adelina na magpakasal si Rizal kay Adelina sapagkat si Rizal ay mahirap lamang at walang enough na pera para pang support uh, sa pamilya or sa pagpapakasal kay Adelina. So let's proceed to the Christmas in Paris. So, December 25, 1889 was a winter day in Paris. So, Rizal, Jose, Albert, together with Capitan Justo Trinidad, who were living together, planned to have a sumptuous dinner. They scraped enough money to celebrate Yuletide. They prepared Christmas dinner with a fried chicken, rice, and vegetable. So, two reasons of Rizal visited to London. So, first, to compare his, it's only a quick visit ni Rizal sa London at bumalik din siya kagad sa Paris. So, the first one is to compare his printed and annotated edition of Morga Censor with the original copy in the British Museum and to visit the Gertrude Beckett for the last time. And that would be all. Thank you.